So, okay, I'm super shy. So you cannot be awkward because I'm already awkward.
Okay.
So we're going to call it the Boot Prince Podcast.
Okay.
How you like that?
That sounds cool.
So you're my first guest.
Ooh.
Appreciate you coming through.
Well, no problem. Thank you for having me.
You're super professional. I'm super awkward.
That's all right.
Don't be awkward.
I won't be.
All right.
I'll try.
So first off, where you from? What's your name?
So my name is Ezekiel Hunter, and I'm originally from here. I'm a little bit from everywhere, though. I'm
Originally
military
from here?
brat. Yeah, I was born in Ozark, way down south here in Alabama.
Ozark, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And is that far south?
Yes. Deep south.
You got a little accent.
So I lived in Georgia for a little while, and then my dad ended up settling in Alaska. He was in the Army, so we moved around a lot. And that's where I call home.
So you've been in the Army, like in what, a military brat, like your whole life?
No, my dad retired when I was about 10. And
Okay.
so from then until I joined the Army, we really didn't have anything to do with the Army because he was pretty done with it. So
Okay. When was your time in Alaska?
when was I there?
Yeah.
I was there from when I was just a little kid up until 2017. So like
Okay.
12, 13 years, most of my childhood.
What's up? So, okay, Alaska is cold. That's
Yeah.
all I know is like you might see a elk.
So that's what they'll tell you, but there is actually a summer in Alaska too.
Really?
Okay, so winter in my part of Alaska anyway runs from about October, November until about the end of April.
Winter is October to April.
Yeah.
And how cold is winter?
You know, it completely depends. You'll get every winter, you'll get at least a week where it is colder than minus 30 every day.
So
But
at that point, like minus 10 is kind of warm.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to zero and people are like taking off their coats and going outside. Oh, it's so nice out here.
No.
Yeah, yeah. So for the most part, though, it hovers around 0, 10 below through
The whole
December.
winter?
No, December, February, January. And then around March, it starts warming up. It's 10 degrees above, then 20, then 30, and
That's
then
what you call.
that's warm, yeah. And then everything melts, and it's just like mud and water everywhere for a month, about mid-April to mid-May, and then it dries up, and it's summertime.
Cool.
And you get summertime from May until August.
And it's a good summer, like what about?
Yeah, it's
70s?
70s, 60s, 70s, pretty mild. There you get some hot days too. My part of Alaska, again, you'll get maybe a week that's 80 and above every day. You might get a day in the 90s.
What month is that in case I want to go? July.
June, July.
Okay.
June or July. It could be either one of those months. It's not going to happen any other month of the year though. So if you're trying to go, that's the time to go.
June, July. We're gonna check that out.
Yeah. The other interesting thing about the summer up there is that it is light almost 24/7. It does not get dark. So you can party around the clock and you will not even realize you're tired until you look at the clock and you're like, oh, it's 3:30.
Right.
It's closing time.
We have a little bit of that in Germany, where it will be about like 11 o'clock and it's just now getting dark.
Yeah.
But not all night. That sounds pretty fun for like a Saturday, Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, just to stay up a whole weekend.
So that's where you went to high school, Alaska?
That's where I went to high school. Grew up in a really small town. My graduating class was maybe 9 or 10 people. Way out there in the sticks.
Did you play football there?
Nope, I did not play football. I didn't play football. I really wanted to play basketball, but we didn't have enough people to make a team. So I ended up driving a race car.
You drove race cars?
I drove race cars in high school.
What kind of car?
So it's these smaller stock cars. It's sort of, NASCAR is the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. Mm-hmm. We drove under what's called INEX, I-N-E-X, and I don't remember what that stands for, but all the cars are made the same, right? You can change the number, you can change the color, and you can change a few other smaller things about them. But everybody has the same engine, everybody has the same design of car. That way it's more fair. That way the rich people, don't go buy the nicest car and beat everybody, because that'll happen in racing aside from that. So I drove what's called a Bandolero, and I drove that from when I was 14 literally up until I left at 17. The day before I left, I was still racing.
Oh wow!
So yeah, that's my.
You gotta send me pictures, man. I never seen that before.
Yeah,
That's new to me.
I drove 24, and
Number 24.
Yeah, Kobe. Rest in peace.
So, what made you join the Army?
You want the real reason or the reason that I tell people? Okay, the real reason was because I turned 17 and realized that there wasn't shit for me to do.
Uh-oh.
I there was nowhere for me to go. We lived in a trailer, and there was no way that I could see. I could work at the gas station, or I could work at the ice cream shop, and I could live in the trailer
As a 17
until my parents died, and I took it from them.
What?
So I joined the Army because I saw it as a way out and a way to be a little more than someone who just lived in a trailer. So I graduated high school a year early. I didn't like the idea of the Army. My dad begged me not to join the Army. I said, no, I'm going to do this whether you want me to or not. So him and my mom, they signed the paperwork for me to join a year early, and bye-bye.
So you didn't like it, but you still did it.
No, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. My oldest brother was in the Army at the time. He didn't like it. I didn't like how I saw my dad coming home. I didn't like how much stuff he had to miss when I was a little kid. I was like, this is stupid. You know? What's he doing? Why would anybody want to do that? But when I got older, I was like, okay, the reason why I want to do that is because what else am I going to do?
So work at the ice cream shop.
Yeah. Work at the gas station. So
how much was that ice cream? I know it's expensive up in Alaska.
It's actually not that bad.
Because you got all the ice up there.
Yeah. The ice is already ready. Just add the cream, you know? But it's not that bad. There's a little place called the Naughty Shop, and they sell really good ice cream. Everything there. Now, the Naughty Shop, I know that sounds like something different.
Yeah, like that.
No. Everything there is made from, you know, how some trees get those knots growing on them. Like they grow weird, like a cancer on the tree almost.
Okay.
Everything there is made out of those.
Okay.
Yeah, so they cut the knots off the trees, and it's spelled Naughty, Knotty shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing when you drive into town and people are like, you should go to the Naughty shop.
Okay, so your basic training. First off, how was shipping away? How was that?
It was probably a lot longer of a process than most other people that join the Army go through. So I had to fly from the nearest airport, which is Fairbanks there in Alaska, to Anchorage, which is only like a 30-minute flight. But that's where my MEPS was. So go through all the processing there again. I was delayed entry, so I had already gone through all that 6 months before. But, you know, you kind of have to go through it again when you're going back through. And then they bought me a ticket to Columbia, South Carolina.
That's a long flight.
That is a long flight.
That's a long way.
There's a couple layovers on the way, but it took about 24 hours total travel time. So yeah, from Anchorage to Seattle to, I want to say Chicago, and then Chicago to Columbia.
That's a long way.
So I went with 2 other people. They were both leaving too from Alaska, and it was a long trip. But I remember we went into the USO. And they were like, "Are you in the Army?" And we showed them our contracts. We were like, "Well, not yet, but in like a few hours we will be. So can't we get some free food?" They were like, "Fine." So they let us into the USO. And we were like, "Yeah." We felt like some real heroes walking in there, getting that free food.
Little hot dogs or what?
Yeah. It was about the last peaceful moment for the next few months.
All right, before we move, why Army instead of, you know, any other branch?
You know, it was the easiest one to join. I guess I'll just say that.
Fair enough.
Because I thought about the Air Force. My dad said if I have to join the military, I should go Air Force. We had a good family friend who was retired from the Air Force, had this long conversation with me about why I should join the Air Force. I said, nah, I'm already talking to the Army recruiter, and he said I can leave whenever I want to. So
get up all out of there.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then the Marine Corps recruiter tried to talk to me as well, but you know, they got all these weird, like if you've ever broken a bone, you got to get a waiver for that. They got all these weird criteria. So
Army is just like, hey, get in there. Yeah. Okay. So basic training, how was it for you?
People say different things about basic training. Some people say it was really, really hard, the hardest thing ever. Some people say it was super easy. I'm not going to lie, I had a tough time.
Oh, really?
I had a tough time of it because I was about 120 pounds. I could run really fast, and that was it. I want to say on that first PT test I gave you, I did 8 push-ups. Not kidding. Not kidding at all. That is not an exaggeration. I did 8 push-ups.
Nice.
I did almost enough sit-ups to pass, and I ran the 2 mile fast enough that they were like, they were like, yeah, he's good.
We're going to work on you.
He's weak. But, so I had a tough time. I had to work on that. I would be in the laundry rooms after everything was done, and I would stick my feet under the washer and do sit-ups, and I would do some push-ups, and I got to where if I did 100 every single day, aside from what the drill sergeants had us doing anyway.
Right. Oh, much.
I realized that every few weeks I could do more and more and more. And eventually at the end, I made it through. I passed. On the sit-ups, literally I met the minimum. I did exactly what you have to do.
Hey, man, you made it.
But I made it. I was the youngest one there.
I was 17, yeah.
Yeah, I talk a lot, so I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Just saying some dumb stuff,
Trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Everybody got those guys.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't that guy. Luckily, there were 1 or 2 that were worse than me. So I always be like, well, you know what? At least I'm not him. At least I'm not her. At least I don't get everyone else in trouble all the time. But yeah, my nickname was Shania.
Shania.
Yeah, like Shania Twain, the country singer, because I used to sing in the wash, the washing machine room, 'cause it was echoey in there, and some of the other what's the way to say this? Some of the other more country folk would go in there and sit and listen to me sing. Yeah. I was trying to figure the right way to say that.
A jam session in there.
Yeah,
sounds like you had some fun.
Sure. But the drill sergeant caught me singing one time, and then there was this other time where I actually questioned him because it was a stupid thing, but he was basically having the males do something he wasn't having the females do. When he had said the day before, he was like, "You're all equal in my eyes," and I was like, I called him out for it, so he was mad. And he's like, "Oh, so you want to be a girl now? You want to be one of the females?" I was like, "He's like, okay, Shania." And then when
the drill sergeant called you Shania?
Yeah, the drill sergeant called me Shania, and it caught on. So I'd be climbing over, the tower. You got to climb up and over.
Get up there, Shania.
Yeah, he'd be down at the bottom. He'd be like, "Come on, Shania, come on, Shania, man, do you feel like a woman?" Yeah. That was crazy.
What they call EO complaint now.
Yeah. But I mean, I had a good time. I made some good friends. I still talk to a few of the people I went to basic training with today. I think out of my entire friend circle, though, I'm the last one left in the Army at this point.
I think that's about
so.
Everybody that's still in is probably the only person left.
Yeah. There's 2 people from my AIT class that are still in the Army, and there's maybe a handful from my basic training class.
But AIT, how was that transition from AIT to basic? From basic to AIT.
I absolutely hated AIT.
Huh.
I didn't mind basic training. It was tough at times, I don't think I was prepared. I know I wasn't prepared to just up and leave, But AIT, I did not have a good time there.
I hated it too. I don't know why, but I had fun. But it was awkward.
Yeah, there was this guy there who he was one of my classmates who rubbed me the wrong way, and I hated him so bad, and everybody sided with him, even though he was. Are we trying to keep this like PG?
Say his name right now. Don't say his name.
No, we trying to keep this PG though.
Hey, it ain't. Go for it.
This motherfucker was the ugliest, corniest, bald-headed. No, I'm just gonna stop right there. Yeah, whatever. But no, I don't hold grudges or nothing like that. So, but anywho, everybody always sided with him, and I don't know why.
That's the guy.
So they liked him. They, you know how you ever been in a friend group and there's that one person that's kind of slow, and everybody treats them like a baby, because they feel bad for him.
Yeah.
This guy was that. Everybody was really nice to him because he was like the like the baby bird that fell out of the nest, and
I feel it. So it was like,
Yeah.
hey, take it easy.
Yeah, so I clashed. I clashed with a lot of people, a lot there. So
You might have been the problem.
no, I wasn't the problem. I wasn't the problem. They were the problem. You know how I know they were the problem? Because a year after we all got sent to our duty stations,
They all got kicked out.
they all got kicked out.
Okay.
Doing some LSD or some other crazy shit. Trying to take a dive off the 5th story window or something like that. So I don't think it was me.
Okay, I feel you.
I don't think it was me. Might have been. I don't know.
All right. So after AIT, you just came here.
I just came here.
Redstone Arsenal.
17 years old. Showed up.
You're still 17?
Yeah. I was the baby, so I showed up here. Well, first of all, I found out I was coming here like halfway through AIT, and I guess somebody here got a hold of the platoon sergeants there in AIT, and let them know, hey, Redstone Arsenal ain't your usual military installation. There ain't no barracks here, no soldiers here. So they told me that, and I was like,
What was your rank at the time?
I was an E1.
Nice.
I was a PV nothing.
So, I know what it's like here. So, when you got here, 17 years old, E1, and you get a house to yourself.
Oh, this is where it gets good. You see, for the first 5 or 6 months, I was still with my girlfriend from back home. We were doing the long distance thing, so my house looked like a serial killer's home for real. I had a chair, a 19-inch TV, and a mattress, and I was happy with it.
Hey, man.
That's what I had in my house. I didn't care. I didn't want anything else.
You by yourself. What more do you need?
Exactly. But then I broke up with that girlfriend, started dating another girl, and the first time she came into my house, she told me it looked like a serial killer's house. So then I was like, you know what? I think I need to go to the thrift store. I need to invest a couple dollars in a couch or something. Get a real TV down here.
A chair, a TV, and
Yeah, and I sat my TV on a cardboard box at the end of my bed. Watch Netflix on my phone.
Hey, man, you can't hate on that.
Yeah, because up until very recently, I've been probably the cheapest person you will ever meet.
He's a minimalist.
Yes. And back then I took it to a different level. I would freak out if I spent $100. I'd be like, I'm such an idiot. All my money's gone.
That's a good way to save money, though.
Yeah. But, yeah, after I got stuff set up in my house, I don't want to incriminate myself. So, yeah. But an 18-year-old living alone in their own house in a town like here, there's a lot of trouble to get into.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
There's a lot of trouble to get into. There's a lot of
trouble to get into. I ain't mad at you. Take your sip.
No, what do they call them? You ever heard the term badge bunny?
Badge bunny.
So cops, right? There's girls, right, that will only date cops.
So
in Huntsville, because of how rare actual soldiers are, there are what do you call them? I guess you'd call them flag bunnies instead. Girls that will just go after a guy because they're in the army. And they're at most army installations, but
that's
here it's
true.
a little different. So, and plus there wasn't as much competition for me being the only
So you wear a uniform to Walmart?
No, I didn't go that far. Tinder profile picture, maybe. Walmart, no.
Okay, man. All right. But so outside of using your status to pick up girls, what do you do around here for fun?
I don't know, honestly. That's a good question. I need to figure out some stuff to do for fun. I started going to college. I didn't give myself a lot of spare time because I don't like doing nothing. I can't really chill.
You don't travel, go swimming.
No, I did travel. I did that. I traveled. I've hit just about every state park around here. I got a map on my wall of all the states in America, and I put a thumbtack in every one I've been to. So I did that.
How many you hit?
All of them but 6. So I got 44.
Oh, since you've been here?
No, not since I've been here. But probably most of those since I've been here. California,
drove?
Miami. No, I flew. No, I flew. Miami.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did a little traveling. I play my guitar, practice my music,
All right. So is that your passion or just?
That is my true passion. If I could just play my guitar for the rest of my life, or sing, or make music, play the drums.
Because I've heard you be singing. I heard you sing, and then I heard you get up there one time.
Well,
we ain't gonna make you perform right now.
Okay, good.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
So where did you pick it up at? Or
so actually, funny story. My parents met because my mom was a country music singer, and my dad was the drummer in her band. So,
that's cool.
And that's what he did in the Army. He was a drummer in the Army band. So, yeah, it kind of runs in the family.
Don't even know that.
Yeah,
that type of stuff exists.
Yeah,
I should have. All we do is. Okay, so what's some dumb stuff that people didn't ask you?
Have you killed anybody? How many people have you killed?
That's the number one.
They ask you that all the time. They'll ask you questions about like government conspiracies, like from your perspective, from an inside perspective, did 9/11 actually happen? Was the moon landing real? I don't know. I wasn't there.
I got just about as much information as you.
Yeah.
Look at the internet.
Do you think Bin Laden is really dead? I wasn't there. I saw it on TV, so I know exactly as much as you do. Yeah,
that's when I joined actually.
My brother, he's older than me, but he'll ask stuff like that still.
Really?
He'll be like, he's a conspiracy theorist, so he'll say some crazy stuff. He'll be like, let me think of one. Not to get political, but he'll say, Trump won that election, right? And I'll be like, no, he didn't. He'll be like, you of all people should know. Y'all are in on the hoax. And I'm like, there ain't no hoax. No hoax to it.
Yeah, that's... People just think we just know so much.
Yeah. It's like, I get paid like barely what minimum wage earners make.
Or we make like $2 an hour.
Yeah. And it's like, that's like asking someone at McDonald's, why isn't there a McDonald's on Redstone Arsenal? They don't know. Their job is to flip burgers.
Right.
They can't tell you that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, okay, you want to talk about Iraq? I just want to know what was your day like out there? You went to Iraq, right?
Yeah.
Or was it Afghanistan?
Iraq. Yeah.
What did you do?
So I was with a Jewish chaplain, the only one in the theater at the time. So our job was to provide support.
Theater coverage?
Yeah, theater coverage.
North and South, or just like...
So Kuwait and Iraq was where we were assigned to. So we were all over Kuwait. We were mostly in northern Iraq because they were in the process of shutting down a lot of places and downsizing. Mm-hmm. So Erbil and Al-Assad was mostly where we were at. We made little stops along the way.
That city right outside, it looks so cool.
It does.
You never get to go out there, did you? Okay.
No.
No incrimination.
So when I first landed there, we touched down at Al-Assad, and it got dark about an hour after that. And I thought that a thunderstorm was starting. I heard just real faint boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh, wow, thunder, because it was cloudy, I was like, that's cool. 5 seconds later,
oh, no.
I was like, oh, no.
That's your first experience that
Yeah. No, that was... I was a little crazy, though. Like, I didn't care for real. I wasn't that scared of them. So, like... I never really scrambled to get in the bunkers or stuff. That first night I kind of ran a little bit, to try to get some cover. But I was just looking out, trying to see if I could see where it hit. I was just looking out, trying to see the night light up.
You was curious. You would be
Yeah, I was curious.
that guy.
Yeah, and then another time I was in the latrine and went off again, and I was like, you know what? It's my time to go. It's my time to go.
Come on.
I ain't leaving here. I'm just gonna chill in here. I was just standing in there. I listened to everybody outside running.
Hey, you gotta run out there with your pants down.
Yeah,
Take some tissue with you.
I was like, you know what? If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I come out after the all clear sounds. I came out, and then my chaplain was like standing out there. He has all his stuff on. He's holding himself like this. I was like, where were you? What do you mean? I pretended I didn't hear it. I was like, what you mean? Yeah, I was pretty reckless. But
Okay.
it was an interesting experience. I actually liked being in Iraq more than Kuwait.
Okay. So, did you ever go to, what is it called? Did you ever go to Baghdad?
Mm-mm. Oh, yes. No, I did, actually. We got stuck there on the tarmac for a day.
So never mind.
So I went to Baghdad. I just stayed in the back of a C-130 most of the time.
For a day? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you the number one thing I learned from being in Iraq is I can go anywhere and I'll be fine. If I got 1 or 2 games on my phone, then I'm fine. So you probably learned that same, because you flew a lot.
Yes.
So you never got to eat in Baghdad? Mm-mm. They had some good food out there.
See, I went during COVID, so things were kind of weird at the time, like.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of MREs when I was in Iraq.
Oof. So I was being here, you never really, your soldier you got to experience, but you never like had to go out and do field problems and all of that.
No, none of that.
Going to the range, being out in the cold, digging up holes in the ground.
See, I did enough of that when I was a kid living in Alaska that I think it's still carried over.
Okay.
Because I was better equipped mentally and probably better at what I was doing than a lot of the other people there. Even people that had been in the Army longer and, were part of all these units that you hear about all the time. I felt like I was better equipped to handle that kind of stuff than they were.
So you don't feel like you're gonna be missing out.
You mean when I get out? No.
Yeah. Or you find
No.
You
Listen.
Get out, you good.
Listen, I volunteered to go to all kinds of places when I didn't have to. I could have stayed here at Redstone the whole time and not done nothing. Mm-hmm. So I know that I did everything that I could, and then some. I went above and beyond. I've seen a lot of soldiers come here for their first term. They get out for some crazy reasons, and they go home, and you never hear from them again. Mm. And that's all they did. They just sat here at a desk for 4 years.
Yeah.
Get out, and then don't do nothing. I mean, I got to do a little more than that.
So you jumped at the chance for experience
several times.
That's cool. So what's next for you?
So I'm actually going to start working as a banker at Wells Fargo back there in Alaska on the 10th of January.
Why back Alaska? You gonna go back to your?
I'm gonna go back to driving race cars. No, I'm not going back to that town. I'm gonna live a little closer to civilization. Okay. So, yeah, I actually have a log cabin that I rented already. Everything's up there waiting for me.
Log cabin. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know this because I know you. So your musical, I'm going back to what we talked about before about the music. Is that something you say it's in your DNA, obviously, but do you feel like being here you've been able to improve because you singing stuff at the chapel?
Oh, definitely. I've gone to Nashville a few times and sang there.
Really?
Yeah. I performed in quite a few places here, actually. Sang in front of bigger crowds here than I'll ever get to in Alaska, that's for sure. Huh. But yeah, it's definitely helped.
You perform like at the bars up in Nashville? Mm-hmm. How you just got to pay them? And I want to do that one day.
You got to go in there and, depends on where you go. Like I once went into a diner and somebody who I was with at the time just went up to the person working behind the counter and was like, hey, he sings really good. He's got his guitar in the car. Can he sing? Yeah, sure. It's Music City. If you can sing, they'll let you sing.
Did they tip you?
Yeah.
Huh.
He let me put my guitar case out. I opened it up and...
We're about to go up there.
Okay.
Tonight.
Okay.
Make a little money. Well, I actually wanted to ask you. So you told me something before. So I'm gonna get to that. But you say you've been on TV 10 times.
Probably about 10 times. Yeah.
Why?
So I used to drive a race car. I got interviewed a couple times for that. I've been interviewed here probably 3 or 4 times too.
Okay.
So
you've been in the newspaper a couple times.
I've been in the newspaper at least 15 times, and that is not an exaggeration.
You got them framed?
I got them framed.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get mine framed. I got my one chance. Oh, we did the parade together.
Yeah. I'm actually in this week's newspaper too. I predicted the outcomes of all the college football games. So far, I've got them all right but one. Purdue just had to beat Tennessee.
You gonna be in the Redstone paper?
Yeah, it's in the Redstone paper
Okay.
from this week.
Okay.
So I'm in that section where the commander and the sergeant major here, the garrison commander, they guess, and then a couple other people will guess who's winning the football games. So
Okay. What has been your coolest experience? Just something like, super cool that you've done.
in the Army or in
the
my
Army.
life?
In the Army.
Okay. In the Army, that would have to be getting to go to the cockpit of a C-17 and watch as they do a combat dive. That was pretty cool.
That's not scary?
Nah, I love that.
They go straight down?
Yeah, straight down. Straight down. It looks like the earth is just bending around you from up there. Because, the floor, like the very front part of the floor, the nose is glass. So you can see where the pilot's at.
I don't know this, so I'm learning something.
You could see all around you. And when they're going straight, and then they go down, you see the earth coming towards you. It's moving so fast. It looks like the ground around you is coming up, not you going down.
Why didn't they let you do that?
Because my chaplain asked, and they said we could go up there. They had 2 empty seats up there. My chaplain was like, "Hey, me and my assistant want to see a combat dive." So that was pretty cool. Getting to sing the national anthem at a Veterans Day event.
That was this year, right?
Yeah, that was this year.
You got a coin from my general.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
That was pretty cool too. But the one that takes the cake, I would say, is when I went TDY to Fort Knox. I got to spend the weekend with some true American heroes. So there's this group of wounded warriors that kind of travel around different Army installations, and they speak there. They're trying to give a wake-up call to leaders, trying to teach them ways to raise morale, right? And one of them was a Medal of Honor recipient. So I got to spend a weekend with them. They have this bus that's a camper inside, and it's got all the accommodations, wheelchair ramps and all that stuff. That way they can get in and out. And yeah, just spending the weekend with them was truly humbling and probably the coolest thing I've got to do.
That's pretty dope. Did you cry?
No. No.
Didn't you tell me you like hung out with the vice president?
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that one. I did get to hang out with the vice president. I have a picture in
Not
my
this
house.
one, but the...
Yeah, the last vice president. I had it in my office for a while, but people thought that was a political thing. So
you got the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. I see
Yeah.
that.
So I took it out of my office probably 6 months ago because, yeah.
Somebody was bothered by that?
Well, no, nobody was bothered by it, but people were thinking that it was a political, showing my political stance, and it's not. It's, hey, that's the vice president. I wouldn't care if it's a Democrat or Republican or any other vice president. If I get a picture of somebody famous, I'm putting that up.
If you with the president, that's our commander in chief.
Correct.
So if you with the VP, you with the right hand man or woman as it is now.
Yeah.
What's the issue with that?
Yeah.
We in the Army.
Yeah.
Who had a problem with that? That's weird.
Oh, it was just people. It wasn't really a problem. It was people would come in and be like,
so you Republican?
No.
Or start talking about...
No, yeah, people would come in there and start... Yeah, they'd come in there and be like, "Make America great again," point at the picture. I'd be like, no, this is a non-political environment. You can't say that here. Like, but you got the picture of Pence on the... Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anything. I put a picture with Joe Biden on the wall, too. I put a picture with any president. It's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Nothing. No more. You met any celebrities since you been?
Yeah, just him, I think. Just him.
Was it not really celebrity, but
Yeah, famous person.
okay. If you had the opportunity, anywhere you want to go to get stationed, I know you're getting out, but where would you want to go?
Alaska. No. If it had to be somewhere that's not going back home, probably Hawaii.
Hawaii. That'd be dope.
Hawaii or, yeah, Fort Knox, Kentucky is pretty nice too.
Fort Knox.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
What? Yeah. I remember all of that. But of all the places,
That's pretty nice there.
Fort Knox.
It's chill, you know?
Hey man. User preference.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you tell anybody who's getting ready to join?
Don't listen to your recruiter. They are lying to. No, I'm just playing. Always expect the unexpected. And I know that's very cliche, but that is the only thing I can tell you, because you could talk to somebody, you could talk to anybody. You could talk to a private, you could talk to a sergeant, you could talk to a sergeant major before you join, and they can tell you how their path went, and you can be like, oh, cool, that's how it's going to be for me. No, that is not how it's going to be for you. Even if they're in the same job as you, same MOS as what you're trying to do.
Even if you go to the same place.
It's going to be different. So always expect the unexpected. Do not always volunteer for everything, but also do not always volunteer for everything. Because then they'll find you.
You got to throw it out there for some stuff.
Yeah.
Just so they don't pick on you.
Yeah, just
like
right in the middle.
School.
Yeah. Blend in with the middle of the pack and you'll be fine.
No, be a superstar.
Be a superstar.
All right, shout out 5 people.
Ooh, Army people?
Yeah, that you met.
Okay. They don't have to still be in, right?
Shout them out.
I want to shout out Jacoby Fannin. Yeah, I want to shout out. I want to shout out Chaplain David Becker, the greatest chaplain somebody could ask for, and I mean no offense to any other chaplain I worked with. Let's see. Let's go. Staff Sergeant Vanessa Thompson. Shout out to her. Shout out Sergeant Owens. You know, always. And let's see, one more person. Who should it be? I'm just playing. I want to shout out Master Sergeant James Bailey, my AIT instructor, and probably the only person when I was in AIT that I could stand.
I thought it was going to be maybe I'm number 6, but it's all good.
Well, you're right here, so, you know. Okay, you're number 6.
All right. You got anything else you want to say?
Nope, I am good. Thank you for having me.
No, I appreciate you coming through. I know you're pretty busy, about to go to Alaska in, 3 days?
Yeah, Tuesday I leave, so yeah, 4 days.
So I appreciate you coming through.
Hey, no problem.
Episode, I'm trying to shake your hand. I don't know when I'm going to post it, but I'll let you know. This will be episode 1.
All right, just send me the link.
Y'all do the thanks. I appreciate you. All right.